So y'all, it's your boy eBay Fight Predictions in the building, and I will be doing the full card predictions for UFC Vegas 24, Robert Whittaker versus KG, my boy Kelvin Gastelum. This is gonna be a really good card. I like the card. Layout's pretty good. There's some decent fights. Hopefully all this pans out. At least I hope we just get to see Jeremy motherfucking Little Heathen Stevens fight, and obviously the main event. But we got some good hitters. We got some good vets on this card. But let's start it off on the curtain jerker. I was thinking about what to say, but that came up in the head. We start off the card with Andre Arlovski versus Chase Sherman. Good fight, man. Really good fight. Andre's taking this on short notice, so this is something to think about. I forget who Chase was supposed to fight, but Sherman, I think he's coming off a drug suspension. That's what I heard, but he had a really good performance against Ike Villanueva. I mean, I think in the beginning on one of the first Jacksonville shows. So, he started off the quarantine UFC era really good. He hasn't fought since. He's riding like a 4-fight win streak, right? Now these are all from different promotions. Yeah. So his last loss is to Augusto Sakai. It was 2 years ago. So that's not bad. Andre's coming off a loss to Tom Aspinall, and his most recent win was Tanner Boser. He looked all right. Some people thought he lost that fight, so I don't know. But yeah, I'm gonna take Andre on this one. Andre by decision. I think Andre is good enough. I don't think Andre is Villanueva. No disrespect to the guy. Guy's a good fighter. But he's more of a light heavyweight than anything. I don't think he's a real heavyweight. So it was kind of easy for Sherman to go out there and kind of bully him around. So I think Andre's going to get this done by decision. Next fight, man. Good fight. Good female fight, actually, for the first time. Jessica Pena versus Lupita Ganez. I think Lupita Ganez. I think that's how you say her name. Lupita, I mean, she has really good boxing. She's coming out of LFA. I've been really impressed with her technique. This is probably like the first girl I can really say I can see getting a finish here. I'm actually going to take her by third round TKO. I think by doctor stoppage. That's what I'm feeling. Jessica Pena is, a professional punching bag at this point. No disrespect to her, but man, she has lost to somewhat top, Daniel Taylor is not top competition, but like Jessica Andrade and Joanna and Jacek, those aren't bad losses to have. No shame in that. But this Lupita girl, man, I mean, she's only 5-0. She's coming out of LFA. But man, I was really impressed with her boxing. I was really impressed with her everywhere. I think Jessica Pena is gonna get smashed up. She was supposed to fight Hannah Goldley, which would have been probably a matchup that favored her more. But I think Lupita gets this done by third round TKO. I was actually gonna think about going decision. Oh yeah, I forgot. My boy Capper Comparison always thinks I go with these females by decision. So this one's for him. I got Lupita going up by third round TKO. You see, I respect the women. Don't get it twisted. I respect some of these these females. But yeah, I was thinking about going decision though. I ain't gonna lie. But I was like, you know what? I think she can batter her. Jessica's 38, I don't know. She hasn't fought in a long time. Her last fight was, 3 years ago? Close to 4 years, This girl just fought 5 months ago. She's active, somewhat active. She's training hard. She has aspirations of, being a champion. Jessica has been top 5 before, She's fought for a world title, so I don't know where does the motivation come at 38 to get another world title? I don't know. But it is what it is. Next fight, Zara Frine versus Justine Nunes. Okay. I don't know how this girl, Zara Frine, is still in the UFC. Has she won? I don't think I've ever seen Zara win. I've only seen Zara get whooped on by Felicia Spencer and Megan Anderson. She got submitted by Megan Anderson, by the way. The Felicia Spencer fight was a complete joke. I mean, I was just disgusted. She's 34 years old. she's not a real. I don't know what she is. I don't know what she's doing fighting. Like I feel like fighting isn't for her. She doesn't look like she has. Like, I'm not saying you're supposed to have fun, but I don't think she likes getting hit. It just seems like she doesn't want to be in there. It's like when anything goes wrong, you can just see this face of despair in her face. So, Nunes is obviously a Brazilian. I think she's making her debut. She's not that good, but she's aggressive, right? And that's all you really need at this point. And you know what? For my boy Capper comparison, I got another finish coming up. I don't even think Zara has the will to get this to a decision. I think Nunes gets this done by second round TKO. I think it's going to be sloppy. I think it's going to be nasty. I don't know. This might be the definition of a piss break kind of fight, but it is what it is. I'm just like, how do you still have a job? Like, that's what I'm and I think they're featherweight. Yeah, they're featherweight. So it's like, female featherweight division ain't. Yeah, I don't know why it's still there. But next up, Abdul Razak Alhassan versus Jacob McQuan. Good fight, man. This is a really good fight for Abdul to bounce back after his last loss via KO. These guys match up somewhat well. Jacob's 25. He's 5'9". And he's has a reach of 73. So really, these guys are pretty similar in the reach and the height. The only difference is Abdul is making his. I think this is this a jump up for him at middleweight? Yeah, this is a jump up at middleweight. So he is making his. I'm assuming his middleweight debut, but he's fought other middleweights before. Omar and Makadev, obviously those two guys at the time were welterweights, but he's fought them before at a higher weight class. I'm assuming he's still fighting at a Fortis. The guy is a good fighter, man. The guy is a really, really good fighter. He's still, I still cling on to. He knocked out Nico Price, man, cold. I still remember that knockout was sick and it was crazy. Jacob has shown that he is not an experienced guy. He needs more time. The Phil Hawes defeat, man, that was, it was shameful. He came in there just to almost get knocked out. Abdul, really what it comes down to, does Abdul have the confidence to go out there and get it done? That's what it comes down to. And, and this is a big fight for Jacob. Maybe will he come and rise to the occasion? We don't really know. I'm a big fan of Abdul. I felt his pain when he lost to that fucking bum Chaos. You can go watch his Instagram post. It was pretty sad to see him. Basically he let his heart out. I talked about losing to Chaos, the bum, and fucking Laziz, Minor Laziz, right? I think those two guys, and it just hurts. And I think he's better than what he showed in those fights. And I think he's going to get a first-round knockout. I'm predicting first-round knockout for Abdul Razak Alhassan. I think he's going to have a really big motivation to come back and get a W. But next fight, Tony Gravely versus Anthony Birchak. Nothing, man. This is again another guy. How are you in this company? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Birchak, he's coming off a loss to Gustavo Lopez, who's another dummy in his own right. He was talking crazy to Yanez and then gets smoked. I think Gravely is going to have a really dominant wrestling clinic. He could get a finish here, man. He's live for a submission, but I'm picking Tony Gravely by decision. Birchak, I don't know what he's doing, and it's like him and like Ray Rodriguez, another dude. I'm just like yeah, I don't know. Hey, man, a check is a check. You can't be mad at it. So I'm not mad at them for working, but it's like, how are they getting this spot? But Tony Gravely's a good wrestler. He's coming off a win against Geraldo de Freitas. It was via split decision though, which was crazy. I thought he won. Yeah, but I got Gravely by decision. Next up, on a hard fight, a really good featherweight scrap, Ricardo Ramos versus Bill Algeo. Man, this is a hard one for me, man. These guys match up pretty decently. Algeo does come with a reach advantage and a height advantage. Algeo comes with 73.5 and at 6 foot tall. Ramos comes with 5'9" and 72 reach. So it's not a really big difference in reach and height. But we all know Algeo likes to play that like tall, rangy kind of fight style. I think he does have somewhat of a kickboxing background. He fights like one at least. Ramos, he's a good fighter. He's well-rounded. But I think he's going to try to take this to the ground. Bill, I've just been nothing but impressed with the kids. Since the, Ricardo Lamas fight, and then when he fought Spike Carlisle, I picked him to beat Spike. I was kind of worried, though. I was like, man, maybe Spike might beat him. But he went out there and had, a sensational performance. I thought his performance against Spike was even better than Billy's performance against Spike. And some people thought Billy lost to Spike. And Spike is now released, so it's just kind of it's kind of funny just seeing how much hype that kid got. Just I don't know if it was just because he was a ginger or what, but it is what it is. Ramos, to his defense, he's lost to some pretty decent guy. Lauren Murphy's really good. Sid Nurmagomedov, Saeed, right? I think Saeed Nurmagomedov, not bad guy. He does have a win over Jerry Newsman and a destruction over Eduardo Grigori, and he beat the Zahabi's brother. He hit him with a spinning back elbow from death. Man, he killed him with that. And Zahabi's coming off a really good win, a knockout win, which I predicted, by the way. But I'm not here to brag. No, I'm just playing. It's a hard fight, but I like this Bill kid, man. I think Algeo is going to get this done by decision. I think he showed good takedown defense against Lamas. He got tired in the third, but I think Lamas, even though he was older, still better than a lot of these kids, man. You look at Lamas, who was he really lost to, man? Like, he got knocked out by Josh Emmett, who's a fucking steroid-using tank, right? I'm just playing. There's no evidence he's on roids, but come on, he's jacked, right? Fucking Calvin Kattar, right? Cater's a killer. I know Cater just got smacked up by Max, but he's a stud. And he lost to Max too. So it's like, no, he hasn't really lost anyone bad. I think he beat Darren Elkins in between them. So I think Lamas beats Ricardo Ramos. So I think Algeo will get this done. I got Algeo by decision. Next fight, Luis Pena versus Alex Munoz. I love this fight, my boy Luis Pena. Y'all call him overrated. Y'all some haters. Alex Munoz is a good fighter. He's a good wrestler than fighter. I think I think they said he was the head wrestling coach at Alpha Male. So he's a good guy. He hasn't figured out how to mix his wrestling with MMA yet. I still see, he has a good double leg, but that's about it. He doesn't set it up right. In an MMA sense, now, in a wrestling sense, I know he knows how to set up a double leg, but you have to set up your takedowns with strikes, and I still hasn't figured that out. Nasrat Hasraf, he showed. If you ever want to see a class on takedown defense and what a proper sprawl looks like and how to defend takedowns, you go watch that fight, man. He got taken down once, I think, and just battered the guy. Sprawl after sprawl, and I say it and I preach it. Takedown defense is a weapon. People talk about, let's weaponize pace or whatever. Weaponize your sprawl. If someone with a good sprawl and good boxing and just good, MMA IQ, that can go a long way in the sport. And I think Luis Pena has that. He's worked with the GOATs at AKA. He's a good kid. Now he's training at an American Top Team. I think he gets this done by decision. He needs to win. He's coming off, an embarrassing loss to Kamaworthy. Embarrassing. He embarrassed me. He embarrassed all of San Jose and Florida. Coming out there, he was winning the fight, and he just got caught, really, in my humble opinion. But I think he gets this done. Alex Munoz is live. He's a good underdog, I think. But, he could get a robbery decision like, what's his face? What's the dummy's name? Fucking Matt Frivola, right? He could, you know what? He could. Because my problem with Luis Pena is that, if you've ever done a no-gi tournament or if you ever, participate in jiu-jitsu, some of these jiu-jitsu guys don't understand that being on top, and even let's say you got full guard and I'm in your guard and I don't pass your guard, I might win the round because I'm on top. And some of these guys just don't understand that. So you'll even see some guys when they're wrestling in an MMA sense. I mean, they'll pull guard, right, while someone going for a takedown, and they'll accentuate the takedown. They'll make the takedown look better than what it really is. You'll see it a lot. Like, even Tony Ferguson versus Charles Oliveira, there was times where Charles was almost like, picking him up like a bouncy ball, basically. And it was like, what's going on here? And really, it's Tony accentuating the takedown by trying to pull some type of guard or trying to do something. And it's like, you don't have to do that. You stuff the head, you get back up, or you sprawl. Like, you do those kind of things. I'm scared Luis Pena might do that. He did it a lot with Matt Frevola. I mean, he made Matt Frevola look like fucking Dan Gable, right? He made him look like a phenomenal wrestler. But if Luis Pena just has a good mentality, stuffs those takedowns, and he's live for a submission. He has a decent guard game, but I think if he just plays smart and is just very defensive and just applies a jab, really, that's how Nasrat really beat this guy. He gets the W. He will get the W. But hey, man, Alex Munoz does train at I think CSA. They got really good Muay Thai. I mean, really good striking. So I mean, the people he's around during Alpha Male and CSA, I mean, he's with a lot of studs and a lot of good coaches. So, nothing against that. Next fight, Nathan Levy versus my boy Austin Hubbard, the Thud. That's so fun. That's a cool nickname. Nathan's a good fighter, man. Good submission guy. Decent strikes. Knows how to set it up. He's won, I think, has he won all his fights via sub? No, he's won some by decision. Never mind. But last fight I saw, he on the Contender Series, Shaheen Satana was by arm triangle choke. Really good performance, but he's fighting a legitimate lightweight dude, man, and Austin Hubbard, man. Austin Hubbard's last 5 fights, Joseph Sleck, fucking Max Horshoff, right? The guy that quit. Retirement. They said it was a retirement. Did he retire? Man, and Mark Madsen, Kyler Puluk, and Davi Ramos, man. These are fucking, good grapplers he's fought. He knows how to defend a takedown, especially what he did in the Max fight. The Max Horshoff kid making him quit like that. And even Mark Madsen, Olympic wrestler. Good freestyle wrestler. So I think Austin Hubbard gets a decision here. He's coming off a somewhat embarrassing loss to Joseph Sleck. Joseph Sleck is a good fighter, though. No shame in that. But, to get subbed that quick, man, that was crazy. I was just shocked. I was like, whoa. Like, maybe Sleck is the truth, man. But it is what it is. I got Austin Hubbard winning this fight by decision. I think, again, I say it. Austin knows how to weaponize his sprawls. He knows how to weaponize his takedown defense, and use it against the grappler. I can't explain it enough. Like, getting the first takedown is so important for a wrestler. Like, if you can't get the first takedown, like, it ruins your momentum. It ruins your mindset. It can really hurt your confidence even in your grappling. And it's so important to really get the first takedown. It really is. Just, for confidence and your momentum. Even, like, you could see it. Even if you lose let's say, your third attempt, right, and going for a takedown, it can still ruin your momentum, and then the shifts can change, right? The tide can change. You can look at the Makwan Americani fight versus Shane Burgos. That was just a recent fight, but Makwan won the first round with a really big takedown. The last two, he just kind of gassed because the momentum switched, and Shane was able to, again, weaponize his sprawl. He really, really put a beating on that kid, but, I think that's what Austin can do in this fight. Next one up, Tracy Cortez versus Justine Kish. This just seems like a setup fight for Tracy Cortez. I saw this girl, Justine Kish. I was not impressed with her performance against Sabina Mazo. She went out there and she got whooped on. Tracy Cortez is a good wrestler. She has good skills. She's coming off a win over Stephanie Edgar. Cute girl, too. I do understand that, too, and there's like some simps going out crazy for her, but it is what it is. I think Tracy Cortez gets this done by decision. Trains at Arizona. You out of Arizona, you got to know how to wrestle. So this girl knows how to wrestle. She knows what she got to do. She's gonna get it done. I got by decision. Next fight, Drakkar Klose versus my boy Jeremy Stephens. Jeremy's coming up to lightweight. It's been a long time since he's, I think, fought at lightweight. Man, Jeremy's riding a fucking 4-fight losing streak. You could even consider it a 5, if you count the Yair eye poke as a loss. I mean, this is nuts. 2 years ago, I think. When was it? Jose Aldo fight. Yeah, 2 years ago, Jeremy Stephens was the number 3 featherweight in the world. That was 2 years ago. Now I don't even think he's ranked, right? Let me look. He might be still ranked, though. I might be tripping at featherweight. He might be like number 11 or 12 or something like that. Like, where is Jeremy? Yeah, Jeremy's number 9, and it's just like, my God, he's taking so many losses. His last win was against Josh Emmett. Drakkar Klose is a good wrestler. He is coming off a knockout loss to Beneil Dariush, a guy that's going to be fighting Tony Ferguson. That's like a main event fight right there. So there's no shame in that. And, Beneil's been beating everyone ever since. He's coming off a win over Christos Giogos, Bobby Green, and Lando Venata. And I think he has a win over Mark Dukeski. Does have that loss to David Timur. Drakkar is a wrestler. He's a scrappy guy, too. So he's not no punk. He will go for takedowns, and he will try to win this fight everywhere it goes. In terms of, size and reach, they match up really well. Both guys are 5'9". In terms of height, Jeremy has a 1-inch reach advantage, 71 to 70. Not a really big difference. At the end of the day, Jeremy trains with really good wrestlers at Alliance. Works with Dominic Cruz every day, so his wrestling is going to be good. Really, what Jeremy has to do is just stuff the takedowns and break this kid, man. But Drakkar is scrappy. He's really, really scrappy. But I got to go with the vet here, and they're not that different. There's not a big difference in age. Drakkar is 33. Jeremy's 34. I have not seen enough of Jeremy's power. Jeremy can crack, but you look at his last few opponents. He hasn't been able to hurt these guys. Calvin Kattar, Yair Rodriguez, who else? Zabit. He hasn't been really able to really hurt these guys. I think he could hurt Drakkar. Drakkar is the bigger guy. He's stocky, heavy set in the legs. I'm taking Jeremy to get this by decision. I know some people might be surprised, you don't think Jeremy's gonna win get it by knockout, but Jeremy has it. I think he's lost some knockout. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's just the level of opponent, but Jeremy hasn't shown me enough to really. He can knock this kid out. This kid just got knocked out in his last fight, but I don't think he's gonna knock him out. I don't know why, but I just have that feeling. Next fight, Alexander Romanov versus Juan Espino. Great fight right here. Man, if Juan Espino was just 10 years younger, I probably would have went with him. This is a hard fight. Both guys are good grapplers. I think the grappling is going to cancel out on who can strike better. I think that's where it's going to come down. And Alexander Romanov didn't look bad in the striking, but his grappling's good. But you could see one of these guys shoot, though. I don't think these guys are going to be scared to really go at it in the grappling field. I think they're going to probably challenge each other. I'm going to have to, and Juan does have a 5-inch reach advantage, which is interesting, and he is 6'3", but being 40, man, obviously they're heavyweights, so that doesn't really matter, but, this kid's 30. Alexander wants to win. I got to go with Alexander by decision. He's been really dominant. Just to fucking choke somebody with your forearm was crazy. I'm taking Alexander Romanov, but, Juan Espino is live for, a fucking upset right here. I really do believe that. And next up, Gerald Meerschaert versus Bartosz Fabiński. I hope this is not the co-main event. I'm praying to God this is not the co-main event. I'm going to keep this short. Meerschaert, he's coming off that embarrassing loss to Chimaev, right? He embarrassed me. I don't even like admitting it, but I did pick him to go in there and try to get an upset. Fabiński went out there and embarrassed me too against Andre Munoz. Both these guys have failed me. I'm going to take Meerschaert here by decision. Meerschaert does get well with these kind of grapplers. These, Duran wins. These, Trevin Giles, these kind of guys that are going to try to go and try to out-grapple him. Now he's been known to put himself in bad positions, but he's super calm in those positions. He knows how to win in those positions. Fabiński, he had a good win over Darren Stewart, but beating Darren Stewart now is not that good anymore. You seen what fucking Eric Anders was able to do and go out there and succeed. So I think Meerschaert, he's a good enough vet. I think he gets this done. I'm taking him by decision. And next up, in the main event, Robert Whittaker versus Kelvin Gastelum. Right? We 1-0. KG won the first one. I don't care what none of y'all say. It was, one guy didn't show up. In wrestling, you don't do that. That's called forfeit. In football, you do that. That's called a forfeit. So I look at it as Robert forfeited. I know y'all some Reaper fans out here, but I do have a breakdown on this particular fight, so go check that out. It's really long, but I think it's worth the watch, if I say so myself. But I gotta go KG, man. Based on durability, the chin. He's taking this on short notice. This is unfinished business. This is payback time, bitch. Because if it doesn't matter. Maybe Robert would have won the first time if they fought for the title, but because Robert didn't show up, this completely deterred Kelvin's career. It kind of hurt him, low-key. He didn't get his main. He didn't get his title fight. Ended up fighting for an interim title. Lost to some fucking skinny weirdo. Then loses to Darren Till and fucking Jack Hermanson. Right? It really hurt his career just because of one decision. I think my boy KG will get this. Robert has shown he's been getting hurt, and look at his last two fights, man. Gets dropped by Till, gets hurt by Cannonier, and people are calling it some of his best performances. In my humble opinion, I thought he lost a Yoel fight. I think Robert's getting knocked out here. I'm going Gastelum by second round knockout. It's Reaper hunting season, baby. All right, and it's over for y'all boy Rob. He's getting smoked. All right, I don't care how y'all feel about it. I'm going my boy KG by second round TKO. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, though. Go follow me on my Twitter. Go follow me on my Instagram. All those links will be down below in the description box. If you're new, subscribe. Share the video. Let's get this eBay Fight Prediction Nation growing. And I love y'all, and goodbye.